5th floor. לא לשכוח מסיבה אחרי המופע פה בקומה החמישית. גבירותיי ורבותיי, בבקשה לשבת. אנחנו מתחילים. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start. גבירותיי ורבותיי, לא נוכל להתחיל לפני שכולם ישובים. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise for Havdalah with Rabbi Neil Blumoff.
Shalom, everyone. We have so enjoyed having you in Austin, Texas. Toda rabah. L'shana haba b'Yerushalayim uve'Austin. So we set an intention, a kavanah, for this week, as we've had incredible experiences, and we go into this week filled with tikva, with hope and joy. So please join. הנה אל ישועתי אבטח ולא אבחד, כי עוזי וזמרת יד אדוני ויהי לי לישועה, ושבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה. לאדוני הישועה לעמך ברכתך סלע. אדוני צבאות עמנו משגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע. אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בך, אדוני הושיע. המלך יעננו ויום קוראנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ביקר, כן תהיה לנו כוס ישועות אשא, ובשם אדוני אקרא. סברי חבריי, יא אליי לה 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 אליי 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 לה 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 אליי אליי לה 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 אליי יא אליי לה 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 לה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. יא לה 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 לה. כולם יא אליי. יא אליי לה 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 לה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא מיני וסמים, בורא מיני וסמים. יא לה 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 יא אליי. יא לה 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 יא אליי. Ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bore meore haesh bore meore haesh ya la 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 ya la Ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol beno lechoshech ben Yisrael העמים בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני. יא אלי לה 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 אלי אלי לה 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 אלי יא אלי לה 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 אלי יא אלי לה 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 המבדיל בין קודש לחול. אליהו הנביא אליהו התשבי אליהו הגלעדי במהרה בימינו יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד עם משיח בן דוד שבוע טוב שבוע טוב שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב. שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב. תודה רבה. עם ישראל חי.
Thank you, Rabbi Neil Blumoff. Please be seated.
Welcome to the National Israeli-American Conference. A few brief house rules before we begin. We ask that you kindly put your cell phones on silent, but by all means, please use it to share things from the conference in any way you like. You will hear many different opinions on stage. This is, after all, a Jewish conference. The speakers at the conference do not represent the IAC in any way, and their thoughts and opinions are entirely their own. That being said, please let's respect them all. Applause is always appreciated. Thank you and enjoy.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, באמת נשא בחפצו כל הזר מלך שמו נקרא, ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה, והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה. לחיים נשתה, קולות נשמע בו, קולות חדווה, עוד לא עבדה תקווה, עוז לחיים הידע, ערב טוב IAC!
תשאירו איתנו, שימו דעת!
הבה נגילה, הבה נגילה, הבה נגילה ונשמחה, הבה נגילה, הבה נגילה, הבה נגילה ונשמחה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה ונשמחה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה ונשמחה. אחים אחים ושמח, אחים ושמח, אחים ושמח, אחים ושמח, אחים אחים בלב שמח.
We all feel the goosebumps when we land in Ben Gurion Airport. Or when we hear a Shlomo Artzi song playing in the background. The pride we feel when we see an Israeli athlete wins an Olympic medal. And we all know how high we jump when an Israeli artist gets a 12 points. Or when our Israeli basketball team wins. How proud we are when an Israeli actor or TV series breaks through. Or when an Israeli innovation is changing the world. And how we're always the first ones to join hands when help needed. We certainly all know the feeling when war breaks out in Israel.
Breaking news out of the West Bank.
Or when we get news of another terror attack.
Condition following
We all know how we feel when we sing Nefesh Yehudi Homiya. When we stand as one at the transition from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut. As we recognize the miracle of the one and only Jewish state in the ancient land of Israel. We all know the feeling of us coming together as a united community. Together, we connect the young generation to Israel. We empower them to be proud in their identity and heritage and always stand for who they are. We stand together for their future when and where it is needed. We empower new leaders that promote a connection to Israel within the Jewish community and America. We build a community excited about Israeli entrepreneurship and innovation and a culture of giving. We will always stand strong as a united and active community with Israel at heart. That feeling makes us who we are. And that is the IAC.
לב אל לב נפתח ונראה את האור שבשמיים.
יחד לב אל לב נפתח בתקווה לאהבה.
איך שהלב נפתח
חובק את העולם
ובקריאה גדולה
נשיר לאהבה.
והכל אפשר,
לא זה לא מאוחר,
השחר כבר עלה, זמן לאהבה. יחד לב אל לב נפתח ונראה את האור שבשמיים. יחד לב אל לב נפתח בתקווה לאהבה. Together is יחד, יחד is strong. I see all your faces and I know I belong. We all here connected, we all here as one. So raise up your hands and יאללה בלגן. יחד כל הדרך, יחד לא אחרת, יד ביד נושיט לטוב שעוד יבוא. יחד all together, יחד open up your heart, יחד איש של איש יפתח את לבבו. יחד ננצח, יחד יישאר, בימים של סערה נדע להתגבר, והתקווה שבלב תמיד תלך איתנו יחד. יחד ננצח, יחד יישאר, ואם רק נסתכל ולא ניבהל ונראה לעולם שביחד כולם, אז יחד, כן ללכת יחד, כן ללכת יחד אל האור. יחד, זה הזמן ביחד, להתאח ביחד לאור. יחד, כן ללכת יחד, כן ללכת יחד אל האור. יחד, זה הזמן ביחד, להתאח ביחד לאור. כל הדרך יחד, כל הדרך יחד, לב אל לב.
Thank you, Gal and Maya. And now, please welcome IAC Chairman of the Board, Nati Saidov.
Good evening. Are we having fun yet? The energy in this room and in this summit throughout has been unmistakable. Israeli and Jewish America coming together from across America with so many of our brothers and sisters from Israel on such a major scale. What an increasingly rare and special treat we've learned together. We have forged new bonds and we've been inspired. We have debated, we have shared ideas, we have shared meals, we have sung and danced, and we drunk and stayed up too late. And tonight is going to be no exception to that, right? But above all, we've come together in our love for Israel and Israeliness, and we've shared our hearts because at the end of the day, we are all one big mishpacha. Unless you're American Jews, then you're a big mishpucha. Thank you all for being part of such a thrilling family get-together. This amazing result we're experiencing is a product of the vision of our beloved CEO, Shoham Nicolette, and the tireless work and ingenuity of our remarkable IAC staff that has worked around the clock. You have managed to bring together close to 3,000 people for the largest Jewish conference of the year. Don't get excited. I'm reading and saying that, I realize the year has just started, so maybe it's not such a big achievement, right? For the last year, including 2022. Please, every single one of you, stand up and be recognized. Go ahead. Look around. Come on, guys. Woo! We have started in 2006, a humble beginning in a single office in LA. And today, through the generous support of Dr. Miriam Adelson and the late Sheldon, Zichrono Livracha, we are in 21 regions, 100 communities and campuses across this great nation. Council members of the regions, please stand up and be recognized. We couldn't be here without you. Woo! And I want to give a special shout out to over 450 teenagers and college students from cities across America who have blessed us with their energy and Jewish and Israeli pride. Where are you, kids? Woo! Did you enjoy yourselves? You enjoyed and learned from remarkable programming we have had for you at the summit. I want you to all know you inspire us. We love you. Thank you very much. Last but not least, our national board members and co-founders, please rise. I just happen to be the one on stage, but we are all equal. And thank you to the great state of Texas that opened its doors and its heart to us this weekend. We are here because we love one another and our shared culture and values, and because when Israel or Jews come under attack, we come together and defend each other. As family members, it's our duty to do so. We might have lots of opinions, but our love for Israel is unconditional, and we will never turn our back on Israel. Never. We don't have the sense of entitlement to think that we can tell the Israeli mothers whose sons and daughters are on the borders and whose tax money keeps Israel going, how to run their country from the comfort of our living room some 8,000 miles away. We have every confidence that the people who dried the swampland and made the desert bloom into an oasis of a technological marvel will figure it out and come out on top. And we stand first in line and will always be there to support them in America and abroad. But we see at the IAC Summit is an embodiment of what we do in communities across the United States every day. When Israeli American unites as one, and especially when we join forces with our beloved American Jewish communities, there's nothing we can't achieve. "2022 was a banner year on activism and the legislative front. The IAC for Action was at the forefront of defeating Ben and Jerry's boycott of Israel. It was the end of a long process, I want you to know, that took years and years to build the Iron Dome of legal protection of Israel. Took millions of dollars and a lot of sweat, but we have done it. More importantly, we spearheaded the action against the Morning Star that caused it to reverse their negative rating on Israel. Had their rating gone unchallenged, it would have cost Israel tens of billions of dollars in foreign investments lost. These are only a couple of the accomplishments we are proud of and hoping to multiply this year as we continue to increase our impact and touch more lives. We have all inspired one another this weekend. Let's take this energy back home to our family and friends. Let's inspire them to be part of this movement we are creating. We have only just begun. God bless America and Texas. Long live Israel. Long live Israel. Long live Israel. Am Israel Chai. Thank you.
Thank you to the chairman of the board, Nati Saidoff. And now, please welcome from IAC Eitanim, Liron and Yuval Yedid Zion.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yuval Yedid Zion, and I'm an Eitanim from Seattle.
Good evening. My name is Liron, and I'm a principal researcher at Amazon. Before Amazon, I was a professor at the Technion and MIT for many years. For the past 3 years, I've been a part of a group of volunteers who mentor incredible Eitanim teenagers across the country and here as well.
IAC Eitanim gives us the opportunity to connect to Israel while developing our creative thinking and entrepreneurship through real-life problems. For example, last year, our team in Seattle was asked to find a solution to environmental and climate challenge using Israeli technology. We had an amazing team and mentor. We have learned that Israel is leading the product of research to cultured meat in the world. My team was one of the winning team nationally. We presented our project to the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations, Gilad Erdan, and the Israeli delegation, and had an unforgettable trip to New York City, which will forever impact my life and my college applications.
As mentors, we provide guidance and direction for Eitanim projects and connect them to the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship in Israel. IAC Eitanim is a way for me to give back to the community, empower the young generation, and connect them to Israel. The Eitanim program brings together extraordinary teens who start the program as individuals, but finish it as a united group who have risen to the challenge and done research, marketing, and design to create projects full of creative and outside of the box thinking. I could not have been prouder of them.
Through the project, We strengthened our connection to Israel, our heritage, and our community, alongside picking up life skills, practicing teamwork. We had fun and created new friendships.
I participated in the IAC Etanim program along with Sofim every Sunday. These two programs really had a huge impact on me coming here to draft.
I've been a participant of IAC Etanim and Sofim. The program really helped me discover life in Israel, keeping my Israeli roots.
Being involved in the IAC community influenced my decision to come and draft.
IAC has provided me with a family, a community, and has given me so many opportunities along the way.
I want to thank you to the IAC for everything they did to me. They gave me a lot of tools that led me throughout my gap year.
I just want to thank IAC for strengthening my Jewish and Israeli identity, definitely helped me and encouraged me to go to the army. I was in Sofim, and it 100% influenced my decision to come move here and serve.
I worked with the media room, with the IAC Activism team. The IAC really helped me develop my Israeli and Jewish identity. Thank you, IAC. Hi, everybody.
Hi to everyone in the crowd, especially my family.
Hi to my family, who I love and miss very much.
Hello to my parents, Yuval and Mali. I know you're out there.
Ima, Abba, Shani, and Mia, I miss you guys so much. Hi, family. Miss you guys a lot. Happy 75 years to Israel.
Mazal tov, Israel.
Happy birthday to Israel.
Happy 75th Israel.
תרד עלינו קשת הוואי של העולם הזה יש תקנה
הלוואי שהמדבר יצמיח חסד נשב הלוואי ועוד נשב בצל התאנה
הלוואי שלא ניחר ואיש אחיו יאהב הלוואי ויפתחו שוב שערי גן עדן הלוואי ויפרסו מזרח ומערב הלוואי הלוואי ונחדש ימינו כאן כקדם הלוואי שלא ניחר ואיש אחיו יאהב הלוואי הלוואי ויפתחו שוב שערי גן עדן הלוואי ויתמזגו מזרח ומערב הלוואי הלוואי ונחדש ימינו כאן כקדם
Celebrating 75 years of innovation.
מה שהיה, היה. הוא אינו ניתן לשנות. מה שיהיה תלוי בחדשנות האדירה הפוקדת גם את המדע וגם את החברה. החזון יותר מהזיכרון הם מקבלי פניו של המחר.
אני שואל ומתפלל טוב שלא עבדה עוד התקווה חי, חי, חי כן אני עוד חי זה השיר שסבא שר כמו לאבא והיום אני עוד חי, חי, חי עם ישראל חי זה השיר שסבא שר כמו לאבא והיום אני
Celebrating 75 years of impact.
שהמשלחת החילוץ הישראלית הייתה בדגש רפואי.
צוות רפואי הכולל אנשי סדיר ומילואים גויס למשימה.
מקבלים סיוע מחיילים במדי צה"ל.
ישראל הופכת להיות גם מעצמה בכל מה שקשור במזון אלטרנטיבי, תאים שמפותחים במעבדה.
סיוון והארגון שהקימה Innovation Africa ב-104 כפרים כבר שותים בזכותם מים נקיים.
צלול כיין וריח אורני אשר בדת נשבת ובליבה חומה.
ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני
Celebrating 75 years of heritage.
בארץ ישראל קם העם היהודי, בה עוצבה דמותו הרוחנית, הדתית והמדינית, בה חי חיי קוממיות ממלכתית, בה יצר נכסי תרבות לאומיים וכלל אנושיים.
Thank you, IDF Ensemble, and a special thank you for the FIDF for being a great partner.
And it's my honor to represent Nevada in the United States Senate. I'm proud to serve as the third Jewish woman and the first former synagogue president in the Senate. It is my pleasure to join you this year to celebrate Israel at 75. I want to thank the Israeli-American Council's board chair, Nati Sadoff, and CEO Shoham Nicolet for organizing this year's summit. While I wish I could be there with you to celebrate in person, at this very moment, I am leading a group of my fellow senators on a delegation to Israel and its Abraham Accords partners. This week, we're visiting Morocco, the UAE, Bahrain, and of course, Israel. Israeli Americans across this country make incredible contributions to our communities every day in a wide array of fields, from medicine and biotechnology to astrophysics to agriculture, IT, and so much more. You're part of the diversity that makes up the rich culture of this country. As a co-chair of the Senate Bipartisan Task Force for Combating Anti-Semitism, it was my honor this past November to help introduce a bipartisan resolution to recognize the cultural, heritage, and impact of Israeli Americans and to address the challenges of national origin discrimination and anti-Semitism. Unfortunately, Many of us are experiencing the crisis of rising anti-Semitism across the country and around the world. To combat against this, I led a bipartisan, bicameral letter of 126 House and Senate members urging President Biden to develop a whole-of-government strategy to counter anti-Semitism and strengthen interagency coordination. Today, I'm happy to report that this effort worked. Less than a week after we sent our letter, President Biden announced he was establishing an interagency group led by the Domestic Policy Council and National Security Council to increase and better coordinate efforts to combat anti-Semitism and other forms of discrimination in the United States. The President tasked this group to develop a national strategy to counter anti-Semitism as its very first order of business. But we will not stop until anti-Semitism is rooted out. So I wish to thank and applaud the IAC for everything you are all doing on these issues, including strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship. I will continue to work across the aisle to combat anti-Semitism. Kol hakavod to you on marking the 8th annual summit, and to Israel for marking its 75th birthday this year. Toda rabah, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Thank you, Senator Rosen. And now, please welcome journalist, news anchor, and television host, Dr. Hila Korach, and chairman of the Executive Jewish Agency for Israel, Doron Almog.
Good evening.
You're very quiet, very quiet. Good evening. We Israelis like to talk tachles, so in order we won't spend this whole conversation recapping your history, we were very efficient and we made a short video that will lend the foundations for this conversation. Are you ready?
I'm fine.
Military
For
man.
34 years of my life, I've served as a soldier and commander in the Israel Defense Forces. The constant fight against terrorism have led me to critical junction, hunting the murderers who massacred 11 members of the Israeli Olympic delegation in Munich. Commanding a paratroopers unit in the Yom Kippur War. My beloved brother was killed in the war and many friends. As the first soldier to land in Entebbe, in the unforgettable Operation Entebbe, rescuing 105 Israeli hostages 38 years ago. Iran was born with autism and severe mental retardation. We decided never to be ashamed, to give him everything we can. Our son Iran passed away in his lifetime. We managed to make a small crack in the wall of stereotypes and prejudice. And I took upon myself the role of the Jewish Agency chairman to defend the Jewish people and fight anyone who is driven by prejudice and harms those who differ from them.
So that's it. Thank you for coming. You practice Zionism daily in some very different ways. We saw the military and Alei Negev and now the Jewish Agency. In which of them do you feel you're most influential?
Each one. The Adi Negev Nachalat Iran brought me to the agency, to the Jewish Agency. Our son, Iran, the child who born with severe brain injury, never said one word. Abba, Ima, never made eye contact. But always stereotyped, discriminated, and brought me to his shoes to judge the world from the weakest in our society. And as a matter of fact, he is a metaphor or analogy to the Jewish people 2,000 years that been discriminated and prejudiced and stereotyped and stigmatized Jew, bloody Jew, like Didi and me were facing our child, like the society is saying, is not part of us. And there was a voice inside me. You know, Hannah Senesh, the woman, the paratrooper, Jewish, came from Hungary, 1939, and she said, Kol kara ve'alachti. And she said after the voice, the inner voice, I think we did the same. Didi and me, we moved in our own belief that we need to do something to change Israel society. It was not about building a decent place for him, giving him a future of hope. It was about loving him, but also about changing Israel society. And the same thing brought me to the Jewish Agency. To do something meaningful for our people in time that we are polarized by the discussion. And I feel that the greatest challenge at our time to keep us united.
I have a question about it. You can't jump ahead of the conversation.
Come on.
Oh, wait just one more minute. Because everyone that, I don't know if you got the chance to be at Ale Negev and to see what you've done and your purpose, your activity changed and is changing the Israeli society. Why go to the Jewish Agency?
I born in the state of Israel. My parents born in the state of Israel. And they gave me the feeling, my parents born under the British mandate in what now the state of Israel, that was Palestine at that time. But they gave me the feeling that the most important thing in their life is the only Jewish state. And for this state, we need to be ready to sacrifice ourselves and to be ready to give our life to the only Jewish state. It's not a title. Thank you. I must tell you, my mom passed away just 2 months ago. Kaftet ben November, we buried her. And she was the one to tell me, you fly to Entebbe. When I arrived July 1st, 76 at home. She was the one to look at my commander's eyes 2 years after the Yom Kippur War, after my brother fell in the war, and told my commander, you want Doron to be the commander of Sayeret, you can send Doron every place, anywhere. And if he's killed, we know how to face it. My third brother was 14 when my second brother fell in the Yom Kippur War. And 4 years later, he joined Sayeret Matkal. April 7, 1980, 7 years after my second brother fell in the Yom Kippur War, my brother, this one from Sayeret Matkal, Modi, was at home, sleeping. 4 a.m. telephone from the unit, and they tell my mom, terrorists took over Kibbutz Misgavam, kindergarten, and Modi's team is the one to break inside and kill the terrorist. So, bereaved mother get to her son, shook him, told him, Modi, this is your turn, run to the unit. And he arrived, and I met him there. You know, I've not met in my life bereaved mother telling the other children, you go to fight. That it's a sacrifice of Isaac. It's not only in the Bible. It's in my home. So you ask me why to go to the Jewish Agency? Because I think and I feel that, you know, we say, Am Yisrael, Am HaNetzach, Am Yisrael Chai. We are temporary creature. we need to do more for our people, to keep our people united, to set love among our people at this period.
So you talk about unity. What are the main challenges from your point of view of the Jewish people that the Jewish Agency can actually aid in?
The Jewish Agency is...
In 3 minutes.
Jewish Agency is an amazing organization, operational, powerful, big one, all over the state. You know, if you come to one of the absorption centers in Israel, we have 26 absorption centers. In each one, we have about between 400 to 600 olim from about 40 to 60 different countries. We have a global center in Jerusalem with connections to all the states in the world. And we have a connection with Jews who want to make Aliyah, Jews in trouble, in misery, after the hurricane in Miami. And it's an organization of people with big heart, fully dedicated, decisive to work for the Jewish people. And I see the Shinshin and Shlichim. Yeah. They are the front line. They are the one to set love. And, you know, I came to this conference from Atlanta. And in Atlanta, I met in Atlanta a teenager, her name Zoe. And she born, I think, in the United States, but she met our Shlichim and Shinshin, and she decided to do Shinshin period in Yokneam, because partnership between Atlanta and Yokneam. And she came to 1 year to Yokneam, and now she get back. So what drove her? What motivated her? The motivation of this young generation. And what should bother all of us is the young generation, the future of the Jewish people. How to set the motivation. And in this respect, I want to say that here, this conference is doing amazing work. In this conference, what I feel is a demonstration of solidarity and love and friendship. And Israel at the center, Israel at heart, the most important part in our body. And
but if I want to give you some hard time, when you see this audience, the love is shared, but when you see what's going on, especially in our country today, how do you think we can unite?
Number one, we need to deeply breathe, drink water, stay calm, and tell ourselves, thank you, tell ourselves,
we're Israelis.
we need to keep our people united. You know, it's about allowing everyone, despite the differences, to have his opinion and to understand we are different, but our power comes from these differences. And if we respect one each other and allow all our streams, the Judaism streams, doesn't matter Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, secular. I was raised in completely secular home. If we allow and give everyone the feeling that is respected, is a part of this dialogue, I'm certain will be much stronger.
The journalist in me really wants to drag you into a political headline, but the other part of me really wants you to talk about the rehabilitation center you built in the Negev, first of its kind. You have to say that if you wanted to be rehabilitated, if you broke your leg or anything, or had a stroke, you needed to go where to? Tel Aviv, Ra'anana? Where's the nearest
From
place?
Kiryat Gat to Eilat, about 1 million people are served by our rehabilitation center, the hospital. We built hospital, new, the most modern hospital, I think, in Israel, the last one that was built. And, you know, the Jewish people, part of our mission is Tikkun Olam. When you do Tikkun Olam is make a society a better place. I thought, you know, after my brother was killed in the Yom Kippur War and left behind 7 days until being evacuated, and then our son came to his place, continued bleeding 23 years, I thought that all my life would be dedicated to the wounded, handicapped, and disabled. And I decided that I have the power to do more for our people. And it's here. It's Kol Kara Ve'alachti, like Hannah Senner said, like, you know, in this visit, the Atlanta and here in Austin, so many times I heard people saying, it's happened. I just met Ellen Zalik. I don't know if she is here. She came from Ukraine. She's one of the supporters. And she said, yes, I decided to move, and everything I do right now, she's the great supporter of Momentum, women coming to Israel. And she said, that's it, it was stronger than me. You know, and what I hear among the Shinshin and Shlichim and many people here, we do something which is stronger than us. We are moving forward to set love for Israel, for ourselves, to empower the Jewish people and empower the state of Israel.
Ladies and gentlemen, spread the love. Doron Almog.
Thank you, Doron Almog and Hila Korach. And now, please welcome from IAC Gvanim, Anat Klein and Einat Gavrieli.
Hello, IAC! And to our Gvanim fellows. My name is Anat Klein. I'm from New Jersey. Next to me is my friend Einat Gavrieli from Tampa. We are here to tell you about the IAC Gvanim leadership, which changed our family and community.
This year-long journey inspired us and hundreds of others from Austin to Chicago, from New York to California, to take upon ourselves the mission to become activist leaders in the Israeli-American and American Jewish communities.
IAC Gvanim invites us, Israeli-American, to examine our choice of building a new home in the United States, what traditions and values we want to pass to our children, and how to create a warm, safe, and supportive community.
Our Gvanim leadership cultivates coexistence as part of the American Jewish community leadership and teaches us value of chesed and action. The Gvanim leadership program urges us to take a deep look into American Jewish lives, their institution, their movement, their culture, education, and leadership.
We are asking to be part of it, but also to bring our uniqueness, to offer our Israeliness, a way of thinking and creating, and to become a living bridge between Israel and American Jewish life. Israeli-American leadership continues to learn about Judaism, to connect East and West, past and present, to love and defend Israel, and to have the courage to create a proud Jewish community in the United States. And we are so excited to be part of it.
I made myself younger in concentration camp because if I would be that age, but I was my real age, they would put me in the guest. So they put me among the adult and they put me to work. God saved me for a reason. that I should tell the story, what happened to 6 million Jews. Those people, the Israelis, they saving my life. A Motek Seli, she lives not too far from me, and she brings me anything I need, and she really saved my life.
One day I just got a message in our Gvanim group about Lucy, that she's alone and she needs help, and I said, okay, I'm going to take it on me. So many volunteers came to visit, and we brought food, and we don't want her to feel alone, ever. Gvanim leading the future of the community. We find a solution together. For me, it was very important to make a bridge between the Jewish American in the city to the Israeli. I really, really appreciate that I had the opportunity to do something for the community via Gvanim and IAC.
IAC is one of a kind. They help not too many Holocaust survivors have alive.
IAC gives you the option to volunteer in any age. You can find any group to join and to be part of.
Israel is in my heart forever.
And now, from IAC Gvanim, please give a warm welcome to Hila Lin and our beloved, most senior IAC member, Lucy Jacobs.
Lucy, on behalf of all of us here at the IAC, we want to thank you for being a part of our community and say how much we love you. I love you, Lucy.
Thank you for IAC. Without them, I wouldn't be alive.
Thank you, Lucy and Hila. And please welcome IAC Emeritus and IAC Board Member and Chairman of IAC for Action, Sean Evan Chaim.
Stand up for what you believe in, even if you have to stand alone. This inscription was on a plaque hung in Sheldon Adelson Zichrono Livracha's office. This is what Sheldon believed in and was one of the core reasons he believed so much in the IAC. He knew that our commitment to the State of Israel is unequivocal. When Miriam and Sheldon attended the IAC Gala in 2013 in Los Angeles, they immediately saw a vision that nobody could have imagined. With their vision, generosity, and guidance, they shaped the future of the Israeli-American community and, honestly, the Jewish-American community as well. If not for Sheldon and Miri's vision, the IAC wouldn't be a nationwide organization with impact and activities across the US. Without them, the IAC wouldn't be the fastest growing Jewish organization in the US. If not for Sheldon's wisdom and guidance, we wouldn't have an IAC summit. In 2014, while we considered holding our first IAC National Summit, Sheldon encouraged me and supported me throughout the planning and execution process of our inaugural summit. His attention to details was second to none. It was reflected even in the smallest detail, including the design of the summit badges, which we're still using today. Sheldon never hesitated to make bold decisions, and he never compromised on matters of principles, even when it seems as though the whole world was against him. Sheldon was larger than life. He was a mentor and an idol, and he was the best friend anybody could wish for. I miss him every day. Sheldon often went with his gut instincts. He saw the potential of this startup called the IAC to be transformed to a large national movement. Look at this room, and you can see how one person made a huge impact. Each one of you can make a huge difference in your community. But like Sheldon, you should never compromise on matters of principles, and you will have to stand up for what you believe in. But with the IAC, you will never have to stand alone. Today, exactly 2 years ago, the world, the Jewish people, and each one of us lost a giant. Sheldon's legacy will live with us forever and will continue to guide and inspire us every day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yaron Kohelberg and Amit Kanon for a special tribute.
It must have been cold there in your shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You are content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings.
We are a Jewish people. We're mishpacha. We are one family. We have one home, and we all ought to advocate for that home unequivocally. There isn't one Israeli American I know that in times of trouble that won't rush to get on the next plane to go over to Israel to do what they can to help.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? Oh, you are everything I wish I could be. Oh, and I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings.
My father never left me with anything material, but he left me the richest, as rich as I could be, with values. I want my legacy to be that I helped out humankind.
thank you, Yaron and Amit, for a wonderful tribute. Miri, we know that Sheldon was your hero and the wind beneath your wings, but we want you to know that he was our hero too. We pledge to you that we will fulfill our commitment to continue Sheldon's legacy by ensuring Jewish continuity, strengthening the US-Israel relationship, and being relentless in our effort to protect the state of Israel. We will be, as Sheldon used to say, the masons that mix the cement that connect one generation to the next. The women in the Bible offer inspiring example of hope, courage, and faith. Esther was a remarkable woman who put her own life at risk to save her people. She is an inspiring example of faith and serving others under incredibly difficult circumstances. Her bravery and courage, still celebrated by Jews during the Purim holiday. Megillat Esther tells us the story of how Esther saved Jews in the diaspora. The story tells us how anti-Semites plans to exterminate the Jews for the sole reason that they are Jewish. It tells us how one brave and smart woman was willing to do everything in her power to save her people. By her extraordinary actions, Esther changed the course of the history of the Jewish people. In our time, we are lucky to have you, Miri, a brave and smart woman who is dedicating her life to ensure Jewish continuity. Miri, can you join me on the stage? By your generosity and actions, you have made an extraordinary impact on the future of the Jewish people and the state of Israel. You have devoted your life to help and save others, both in your profession as a doctor and in your charitable deeds. We couldn't think of a better gift for you than Megillat Esther that was handwritten in the land of Israel. The dedication reads as follows: Pia patcha bechokma ותורת חסד על לשונה. מוקדש לדוקטור מרים אדלסון בהערכה ובאהבה על פועלך עבור העם היהודי ומדינת ישראל. IAC 2023.
ערב טוב. אני התלבטתי אם לדבר. I was talking with myself, should I talk from my heart or should I read you the speech about Sheldon and about you? So I decided to compromise, to do both. Good compromise. But I want to tell you what brought me to write the speech that you will read. After Sheldon passed away, you know, I saw so many times in my life death. I'm a physician. So many times I had to determine that one of my patients unfortunately died and signed his death certificate. So I know how it looks. I know how it feels for the family. But it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to know more, and I started to read books about death. What is death? What is happening to our soul? One day I went to a meeting in big building, and there was the Israeli book market. The Israelis do like to read books. And I found there a book among those books that I like to read. It was written by a professor from Stanford. His name is Erwin Yalom, and his wife, who was also professor in Stanford. He was psychiatrist, and I think his wife, Marilyn, was specialist on women during certain period in France. And one day, she was informed that she has a disease and she has 1 more year to live in. And they decided, Professor Yalom and his wife, to write a book. 1 week he will write, 1 week she will write. In the book, I found that Professor Yalom was writing after his wife died. Towards the end of the book, he said that an old Greek philosopher named Epicurus, probably you heard this name. So Epicurus said that life, what is happening after death, is exactly what is happening before we are created, before the sperm meets the egg. Before it, nothing was there. I don't know what happened before the sperm. The sperm of my father met the egg of my mother. Nothing for me. He said it's the same thing after death. And here, I started to think, and I said, when you are alive, you are adding something. There is a delta during your life. You are living something after you die. You influence your children. You influence your friends. Some people more, some people less. You influence your employees. So this is, I call the delta. And I decided that this delta is our neshama. What Sheldon taught me, what Sheldon taught our daughters and our sons, his employees, so many friends here, it influenced them. My son came to me one day and said, Mommy, thank you and Abba, after he passed away, for teaching me, installing in me these values, because now I feel a better person. And my son would continue to teach his children. He would be a role model for them in this soul. So I call this the life after death is something that your soul is being spread. I see it in Sheldon's employees. I made a memorial for him because his employees didn't have any closure with him. He had 55,000 employees. And during the corona, Sheldon was paying all the employees full salary and benefits. He was making for them kindergarten for the single mother. So he had one secretary who would come in the morning, leave her daughter in the kindergarten, and go to work. His employee loved him, really loved him. So we made a memorial. And Sheldon Neshama was penetrating them because he did so many good things and radiated so many values. One of the employees came to the stage. Few of them came and felt that they want to talk about Sheldon. He arranged benefits for his employees that if you have medical insurance, it's okay. So if your husband is anyhow insured, you don't need second. So you can pick another insurance like teeth insurance, like eye insurance, like veterinarian insurance. So one of the guys is coming to the stage and almost crying. He said, "Mr. Adelson saved my dog." And in the beginning, I totally forgot that people can choose this insurance. Apparently, his dog fell down from second floor, needed few surgeries, that each surgery is $5,000 to $10,000. And I was in the beginning, I didn't understand how Sheldon saved his dog. But that was Sheldon, very, very, very special. So on the inspiration of the neshama, of the delta that we are leaving behind us when we go to Garden of Eden, I wrote this speech that I want to read to you. Guys, move backward. Okay, שלום חבר'ה, מה נשמע? Wait a second. We are in Austin, right? So allow me to translate. Howdy, partners. It's always a pleasure to be with the IAC, and especially so when we are enjoying such a great time. And we are enjoying also the warm Texan hospitality. My husband and my soulmate, Sheldon, with whom I co-sponsored the IAC, would have really loved to be here, but still, I feel his spirit here. As I said, the Delta, just days before his second yahrzeit, it is the spirit of the IAC. And I realize now it's also a Texan spirit, a fighting spirit, a proud spirit, a spirit of patriotism and faith and fun. But in truth, friends, these 2 years have been hard. Every day has felt like a yahrzeit for me. That shouldn't be surprising. Sheldon was extraordinary. It seemed as if he altered the very rules of time and space. Into his 87.5 years, Sheldon squeezed many dazzling careers. His magnificent buildings reshaped skylines and coastlines. His philanthropy and political activism bettered countless lives and helped steer America, Israel, and the entire Jewish people toward ever greater security and prosperity. That was the public Sheldon. The more private Sheldon was no less magnificent, unremarkable. The depth of his compassion, his modesty, his courage, his limitless capacity to love and to laugh, to enjoy life to the full, and to share that enjoyment in generosity with others. And yet, standing here before you, I feel the pain is eased. The burden of the burden of the pain is little lighter. Things look a lot brighter. The reason is clear. What is the reason? You, IAC, are Sheldon's legacy. He was proud son of this United States who served in the US Army and went on to become a titan of American business. He was also a committed Zionist who found in Israel the ultimate expression of Jewish rights and peoplehood. His marriage to me, a Tzabarit, former IDF officer, reflected the US-Israel alliance that he worked so tirelessly to promote. And that is exactly what the IAC does too. At times of moral confusion and political disputes, the IAC keeps Israel and US leaders focused on what unites them. When all too many members of our wider Jewish community lose sight of the most important values, the IAC is there to demonstrate what committed and the principled loyalty looks like. We fight for what is right, and we do not flinch. We are passionate about Israel, the greatest friend of America, and about ensuring that it will go from strength to strength. We never apologize for this, and we never forget those who join in this most righteous cause, nor those who oppose it. No less importantly, we are raising patriotic new generation that will do all of this after us better than ever, because this is what Sheldon did. It is what he stood for. It is what he willed us to do in his stead, as if he were still among us today. Because in spirit, he is among us, now and forever. Thank you. God bless you. Toda rabba.
Thank you, Dr. Miriam Adelson.
It happened in our water polo team. We had a very strong internal community of Israeli and Jewish students. There was one person who was quite left out. Their response to that was lashing out with very anti-Semitic remarks.
I'm going to finish what Hitler did. I'm going to kill you. he uploaded a picture of a gun room tagging most of the Israeli kids in the high school.
And I remember being quite disappointed with how the school handled the situation in terms of education. How do we prevent this from happening? How do we spread the word that this is a real problem that we have, and what do we do with it?
When my second son got to high school, there was anti-Semitic graffiti. We felt as if they don't even acknowledge the fact that it's something that needs to be taken care of in a systematic manner. As a Jewish community in the area, we have to take action, and this is where actually the IAC helped very much in bringing this into action.
The members of IAC were so knowledgeable in how to approach these type of situations, expose you to information that you may not be aware of, and more importantly, the students are not aware of.
Last year, we had some incidents of anti-Semitism on campus, and we got connected with the Israeli-American Council, and out of that conversation came the idea to have the Israeli-American Council come and do a presentation to our staff so that they can help to support the students that we have on campus in trying to eradicate some of the hate that exists in society, but more specifically here on campus at times.
The year is 2022, and anti-Semitism has reached a breaking record. A nationwide phenomenon of hatred in our public schools is shaking our communities. The IAC has generated a wide set of tools to address this pressing issue. Through our platform, schoolwatch.me, we receive countless complaints and work with the community and administrators to ensure a school environment that is safe and free of hate. Parent task forces and lecture series provide additional support and knowledge. In our Act and Impact Ambassadors program, we inspire the next generation of activists to act and make an impact in their communities.
Change could be done. It's not something that you have to live with when you get an advice from someone who knows what messages work and what do not.
The IAC gives us the community, combat anti-Semitism, to stay strong as Jewish people and to preserve our identity.
I'd really like to thank the IAC. Their resources, their support, their knowledge has been very helpful for us as a school. So thanks to everything that the IAC has been doing with and for us.
We act to make an impact, inspiring and empowering the community to lead the fight for equality. Together, we make a difference every single day.
And now, please welcome to the stage founder and executive director of ICON and Code for Israel, Hakrisha Yasmin Lukács. And please, let's hear it for author and serial entrepreneur Uri Levine, and the one and only founder and CEO of NAS company, Nusser Yassin.
Hello. Welcome. Is this working? Can you hear me? Hello, my rock stars. Please come in, join us.
Hi, Yasmin. How are you?
Good. How are you? Welcome.
Good to see you. Hi, Uri. Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hello. So I got to ask you before we start, who has ever used Waze? Raise your hands. And who has ever watched a NAS Daily video? So you guys are pretty known. I got my rock stars here.
Those that you haven't raised your hand, this is really the time to leave.
Yeah. So I feel like I have the, even though we're the last act before Noah, who comes later, we have the two rock stars here, and you all know what they do and what they've done. But let's take the next 10 minutes to kind of go and like have a more intimate conversation. So I'll start with my first question is, why are we here? Why are you here with us today at the IAC? Oh, you want to start?
So I have a mission in life, and this is about creating value and a bigger impact. And at the end of the day, this conference is an opportunity to create value and make a bigger impact. And hopefully you'll take some significant things out of this day and conference, and you'll become more impactful. And if this is the case, then I'm happy.
Why am I here?
Yes.
First of all, Uri, how old are you?
I'm 57.
I'm 30. So we have a lot of difference in years. Are you Jewish?
Yes, I am.
I think I'm the only one that's not Jewish. But I think both of us want the same thing, a better Israel. And so why am I here? Why am I here? Because it took me decades to answer that question. First of all, because I was invited. So thank you for inviting me. Really appreciate it. But second of all is because sometimes people forget that 20% of Israel is not Jewish. And that's my people. And I think it's time we integrate. It's time we belong. It's time we call this home. And so I'm here because I want to help build a better Israel through my work, and I want to make sure my family is safe.
And send this amazing message of unity. Thank you. So you have it. Yeah. So both of you have accomplished a lot. You touched millions of people through the apps, through other companies you've been involved with, through everything that you do, the summits, the videos, everything. And I'm curious, what motivates you? What is your passion? Why do you want to continue and do more?
I'll take this and then you. Okay, so for those that don't know me, my name is No Sire, like yes sire, no sire, yes sire, no sire. I was born and raised in Israel. I studied in America, and I started making videos. 7 years ago, I decided to leave America and start making content. Why? Because I felt like I had no voice. A lot of us probably feel like they have no voice. Everybody's speaking on your behalf, or everybody, talking about why they hate you or why you don't matter. And that's why the internet gave me the voice. And that became Nas Daily, and now it's Nas Company. And so what motivates me is to be able to lift other people up and be their voice. For example, take the specific example of Israel. Not a single person in Pakistan has ever met an Israeli, has ever seen them. They only hear about them from state media somewhere else. I think if you tell the stories of Israelis, you humanize them. If you tell the stories of Ethiopians, you humanize them. You tell the stories of Palestinians, you humanize them. And I think it's important to tell the stories of every person in the world in order to humanize them.
Are you gonna, yes. Are you gonna tell the story of the conference?
Sorry?
Are you gonna tell the story of this conference?
Maybe.
It is a good story.
Conferences don't go viral sometimes.
Yes,
But we'll try. We'll tell the stories of the people in the conference.
Exactly.
Like Uri.
So Uri, what motivates you?
So I said earlier, I am about value creation, right? And for me, value is when you think of value creation, then you think of other people, and in particular, you think of problems that you can solve. And I'm trying to solve problems, right? I'm trying to solve problems through the companies that I've built that essentially help you to drive and save time and so forth, and through a book that actually share my know-how, and hopefully there will be some key learnings that you will take away and will improve your life. And this is what motivates me. I think that I actually have this destiny that I need to fulfill, right? And it's probably coming because my dad was an entrepreneur, and my mom was a teacher, and I ended up to be both. And this is a unique combination.
Yes. I mean, Nas, you spoke in the beginning about you both being the same, and here now Uri, entrepreneur, is now creating content. He just published a book, so congratulations on the book.
It's a great book. I read it.
I haven't had a chance, but I got it, and I am going to read it. So I want to ask you a question. So there are many people that are entrepreneurs in the crowd, but many people that do other businesses and are not entrepreneurs. Is there anything, lesson throughout your career as an entrepreneur and that you synthesized with the book or not that you could share a word of advice to everyone?
So let me try two things, right? So if you want to create impact, the simplest way is actually find a problem. Find a big problem, something that it's really worth solving. And then ask yourself, so who has this problem, right? Now, if you happen to be the only person on the planet with this problem, I actually do know a very good shrink. It's going to help you way better. But if a lot of people have this problem, then sign up for this mission to try to solve that. But there is one critical part about probably about decision making, right? Because, and this is for your entire life, right? Not just your business, but for your entire life. And I spoke with many entrepreneurs that their startup failed and asked them why, what happened? and about half say that the team was not right. And I kept on asking, okay, what do you mean the team was not right? So I heard, this guy was not good enough, and this guy, so not good enough was major reason. Another reason that I heard quite often is that we had communication issues, right? Something that I actually called ego management issues. But then I asked them the most interesting question: when did you know that the team is not right? And all of them knew within the first month. Within the first month. So you say, wait a minute. If you knew within the first month that the team is not right and you didn't do anything, the problem was not that the team was not right. The problem was that the CEO did not make hard decisions. Making hard decisions is hard. Making easy decisions is easy. Now, the bigger problem of that is that if there is someone that shouldn't be there, someone that doesn't fit, everyone knows. Everyone knows, and the CEO doesn't do anything. This is where the problem is. And one of the key learning is that if you are hiring people, then once you hire someone, mark your calendar 30 days down the road and ask yourself one question. Knowing what I know today, would I hire this guy? Now, if the answer is yes, this is awesome, and actually go and tell that person that you're extremely happy with that. But if the answer is no, then fire them immediately. You're actually doing a favor for everyone. And if you want to take that for your life, then ask yourself very simple questions. Knowing what I know today, would I do something different? If the answer is yes, then go and do something different. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
It is.
Uri, you're making people fire people.
It's increased their likelihood of being successful, right? If you don't fit into a place, you are not going to be successful there, and you deserve to be successful, even though that it might be in a different place.
I think that also, people want to be appreciated when they want to work in the place where they contribute the most. So you're going to learn from that and you're going to do something.
He's right. Unfortunately, he's right.
So I have a different question for you, Nusser. So you said you're 30 years old, and you reach millions of people. With great power comes great responsibility. How does it feel to be so successful and so young? Do you feel the burden?
So, media is funny. Social media is very funny because 10 years ago, it was impossible for a 25-year-old kid to reach 50 million people. Impossible. You had to go through gatekeepers, through CNN, through Fox News, through whatever. But now you can be a 20-year-old kid and reach 10 million people. That's one, amazing, but two, dangerous. And that I see the responsibility of Nas Daily is not to divide but unite. We have the ability to take a picture or a phone and make everybody gang up against something or someone or an idea or a country. And I think that's very bad. That's not why we should create content. Over the last 2 days, I have seen so many people here amongst Jews call for unity. Unity amongst Jews. And I think it's a great message. And I think similarly, Nas Daily's message is to call for unity amongst everybody. Jews and non-Jews. That's the point of media, and that's the responsibility of media.
I think this is an amazing message to finish with, especially today when when the algorithms sometimes feel like it's giving it's promoting you if you're controversial, and seeing those positive videos and this positive message is an amazing thing. So thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Uri.
Thank you, Yasmin Lukacs, Uri Levin, and Nusser Yassin.
And now, are you ready for this? I see. Did you have an amazing weekend? I cannot hear you. Did you have an amazing weekend in Austin, Texas? And are you ready for the one and only, our superstar from Israel? Are you ready? I cannot hear you. Are you ready? And don't forget, there is an after party after Noah at the hotel on the 5th floor. Ladies and gentlemen, Yotav Rabotai, IAC, get ready to go crazy with Noah Kiel.